Good morning. Would you rather be a leaf or the fruit on a tree? Now, before you answer, consider how many times have you seen a fruit on a tree with no leaves? Stay with me for a moment, will you, while I explore a parable of a tree leaf. All the leaves are gone from the trees here in western New York. Winter's approaching. In fact, there's not a fruit tree left in the area that has any fruit on it. You know, nature's a funny thing when it comes to trees and leaves and fruit. Take, for example, the fig tree. Now, the fig tree grows, but it doesn't have any fruit. Well, at least for the first few years. You see, what happens is the tree starts to grow, leaves come on it, and this carries on through the seasons until one day there's a year of the season of the figs. And that season means that fruit comes onto the tree. But here's what happens. The fruit comes onto the tree and there's no leaves. It's completely backwards from any other fruit tree. So as the fig starts to ripen, the leaves start to come on the trees. And when the leaves are all fully on the tree, the figs are ripe. So if you're walking in a country where there's fig trees and you see it all filled up with leaves, go over and pick a nice ripe fig to eat. That's what that means. And that's what it was in the time of ancient Jerusalem when Jesus was walking to the temple one day and he was hungry and he saw a fig tree. So he went over the fig tree to get a fig and there was no fig. Now we don't know why. Maybe it was that it wasn't the season yet. Maybe that tree hadn't got to the maturity yet where they had figs on it. Maybe the tree just simply was diseased. We don't know why, but we do know this. Jesus said to the tree, "You're never going to have any fruit." And the tree withered up and died. Well, for the past 12 days, I've been posting written messages to my friends, kind of explaining my position, my thoughts on being a Christian, what Christianity is all about. And I suppose if there's young people and they were reading some of these messages that I sent, they might have thought it was very hypocritical, some of the things I would say. Well, in fact, that's the same thing that happened with Jesus. As he left the fig tree, he went to the temple, and when he went inside, there was all the religious leaders, and they were doing the same kind of things that our religious leaders do today in churches. They had a congregation of people. There was a religious service going on. They were doing ritualistic things. They were praying for the people. They were raising their hands, requesting God to come and do some miraculous things. And they would put their hands on people to heal them and do all kinds of things like that. But something was missing. Jesus talked about this in a parable. He talked about two men who came to him and said, "Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? In your name did we not cast out demons? In your name did we not raise the dead?" And Jesus looked at them and said, "Depart from me, I never knew you." You see, Jesus is not looking for leaves. He's not looking for the result of the deed, the fruit of our hands. He's looking for the fruit that's in us, the fruit of the Spirit in us. That's what he's looking for. So what is the fruit of the Spirit? Well, fortunately for us, the Bible tells us exactly what he's looking for. It says he's looking for the fruit of the Spirit, which is love, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, and faithfulness. That's the fruit of the Spirit that God is looking for. But here's the miracle in all of this. No matter what we do, we can't produce that fruit. The very God that is looking for the fruit in us is the very God that gives it to us when we ask him for it. For the last 21 days, I've been trying to explain my viewpoint as a Christian and what Christianity is all about. Too many people who claim to be Christians think of God as this person who's upset with them, unforgiving, wants to punish them because they're not good enough. When in fact, the fruit that God is looking for We already possess it in us if we've asked Jesus to be part of our life. All we need to do is accept it, that it's there. The fruit that we're been given is what's going to lead us into a new eternity of living with God in an environment that is fruitful in the relationship that we have one to another in total unity. God is greater and better than we can imagine, my friends. Stop being the leaves and the trees and trying to do something with your hands and your minds and your speech. Don't try to be judgmental and divisive with others. Don't try to lord yourself over others. Do the fruits of the Spirit, and God will come in and lead you, and we'll live a life of unity and love with God. That's what Christianity is all about. Bye, my friends.